Tennessee Dirt. If you're new to the team, welcome. If you have been with us for a while, welcome back. Hey, today we're going to go over how to read an appraisal report. This report, of course, will come from the lender, and this particular property made value, and we just received this report in, so I figured I would go over it with you. So it'll talk about who the borrower is and the subject property address on here. It'll give you your table of contents, and it is a 50-page report. It'll have photos in here, and it'll talk about the sale price, what our current contract is. Similar to a home inspection, they're going to take pictures to help make value of the property. So they're defining the property as we start this report here. Where's the crawl space? Does it have central heating and air? Where's the HVAC and accesses to the attic space and all those things? They do take measurements of everything on the property, so they can account for all of it. This particular one is unique because it does have a front deck and a screen porch in the back, a first floor home, a 2-car detached garage, and a huge shop. So, and it'll break those all down into here, and they categorize those as living space and non-living space, so on and so forth. This is the county assessor's map. Where is it located? And it goes over a flood map. Does it sit in a floodplain? It does not. Again, additional surveys, environmental addendums. They go through everything to make sure that this property is appropriately assessed for the bank. Lead paint issues, anything like that. Are we next to are we next to air places that'll cause pollution and things like that? Is it next to a factory or a coal plant or whatever it may be? And it will go over the appraisal here, history of the property. Is there any remarks on it? Any major? Maybe was there any claims made on it? Was there a previous fire? All those types of things. They get into depth on these appraisal reports. So just to understand, it's not a matter of like a CMA that you're allowed to do as an agent. This is far more intensive. So if you've never seen an appraisal report, that's what we're looking at. So they're going to give you site value and then value of the subject property, all of them together. That's where we're going to come up with the number. And we'll scroll down and scroll down and scroll down. And you'll see there's a table of contents in here talking about, what the abbreviation is and what it's referencing as the features of the property. And then we'll get into the meat and potatoes of things on the appraisal report here. And it'll identify what type of home it is. Is it brick? What type of roof that's on it? Gutters, window types. Is there a crawl space, or is it a partial basement, full basement, concrete slab? Is it a multi-unit or is it a single unit? Detached garage or attached garage? How big's the driveway? So on and so forth. Lots of factors taken into effect. So it'll have our subject property, which is going to be outlined here in column 1. And then you're going to see the comps that it used on here as well. So 110 Dogwood, we also sold that one. It was used as a comp. And then Phillips Drive, and it will go on here and it'll show you what the sale price was. We've offered $595,000 for our client. They've got $633,000 based upon $300 a square foot. We're at $274.95 a square foot, $208 a square foot, $192 a square foot, so on and so forth. It'll even have in here, what's the HOA, what's the square footage. And they take into account all those different types of things, including condition of the property and all that stuff as well. So, and then you'll see down here what the key thing that we're looking for is this appraisal is as is or subject to. So it can an appraisal can come back a couple different ways. It can come back as is, so that made value, and it is appraised as it sits for the value in which it is written. It can come back above value, and it can come back below value, or it can come back it can come back subject to. Subject to means that maybe there's a deficiency or additional um, inspections or repairs that may need to be done in order to get the value. So let's say this is an FHA appraisal or a VA and it's missing handrails or whatever. It could come back subject to said handrails. Handrails are a code issue and they need to be taken care of because it is VA or FHA. Or it could be, hey, we need a roof certification. The roof looks really old and they can't determine how old the roof is. So they just want to make sure that the roof is certified for at least 2 years typically. So you would call out a roofing contractor and ask for a roof certification. That will typically cost money, but they'll certify the roof, and essentially they're almost offering you a warranty on that roof at that point. So, but that's how an appraisal is going to come back. Like we've got one right now that actually has it was subject to an HVAC, which is heating and air verification to see if the HVAC was appropriately sized for the home. And then they also wanted to have a well test done. So they wanted to make sure that the water was suitable because the purchaser decided to waive the inspections on the property. So, and it'll get down into here. Talks about economic life of the area, replacement costs, all that type of stuff. And yeah, so that's an appraisal report. And then there's a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo and the appraisers, certifications and licensing and all that type of stuff in here. I'll show you pictures of the properties that were the comps. And that's how you read an appraisal report. If you don't make value, you're going to want to make sure that the comps that they used are truly comparables. Sometimes appraisers, because you may be in more of a rural area or it's a unique property, so you may have to defend it. It's very rare that you're going to overturn an appraisal, but just a heads up. And then here's a copy of the existing warranty deed. So that's how you read an appraisal report. If you have any questions, feel free and reach out. And I hope you guys have a great week. Thanks so much.